Good to go.
Okay. My name is Karen Bailey, and I'm the Community Outreach Coordinator here in the parish. And I got involved probably 4 years ago when I came to the parish. And the first thing I think when you come to a new place is you check it out a little bit. And I noticed when I opened the bulletin there was an announcement for Bread and Roses, and there was an announcement for Neighbors in Need. And I thought this was the kind of thing that worked for me, that resonated with me, who was interested in community service. So when I came here, I started making inquiries about the type of things that go on here, and I learned a lot about what happens in the parish. And then the second thing that happened is I received a tidbit of advice from the leadership here that said if you want to get involved in the parish, the expression was immerse yourself. And so I did immerse myself in the service opportunities here. So I'm standing here in front of the Neighbors in Need drop-off bin, and I'm going to talk about two opportunities that go on year-round here. An easy way to get involved. One of them is bringing non-perishable food donations for Neighbors in Need, which is a charity that works out of Lawrence. Actually, their food warehouse is in Andover. So we drop off our things here. I take over the items to Neighbors in Need about once a month. They serve something like 600 families a week in about 8 different food pantries. We deliver, I'm going to say, close to 150 pounds of food a month to them, which is very generous from the parish. The great thing about this is you can do it anytime and all time throughout the year. And I know a lot of families try and this is something we talk about when we talk about conversion or transformation, and it becomes part of you to think about this, say when you go shopping. I know a lot of families try and think when they're in the grocery store, I need to pick up one extra item for these people. I was joking recently that I pick up so many cans of pigeon peas when I go shopping, I should probably just buy 100 cans of them in January and get it over with. But every time you go shopping, if you can think of a little thing and bring it to the bin, that would be great. It's also an excellent way to get the kids involved. They seem to sort of jump on that as an opportunity to get connected. Another thing that we do year-round, happens every month, and it's been going on for, I'm going to say, close to 25 years now, is we help prepare the meal once a month for the Bread and Roses Hospitality House in Lawrence. And the menu we currently have going is tacos, and every month you'll see an announcement in the bulletin that lists all the items that are needed each month. And you can sign up on the sign-up sheet here in the vestibule. But even if you don't sign up, don't feel like you can't donate. And on meal prep weekend, there are people down in Driscoll Hall who will take your donations, particularly of the things that need to be refrigerated. But if you come to an earlier Mass, that's usually between 9 and 11 on Sunday on a meal prep weekend. But if you come to an earlier Mass, you can always put your non-perishable donations for Bread and Roses weekend into the Bread and Roses bin. So these are just two initiatives that go on year-round, and again, Bread and Roses is another great family opportunity. That's one of those places where you can get the kids involved in picking items out to bring, and it just becomes part of what you do every month. So one of the other ways that you can get involved year-round is in purchasing fair trade coffee. I'm standing in front of an empty table here that usually has fair trade coffee on it once a month, generally the first weekend of the month. Again, watch the bulletin for the announcements there. And the parish gets involved in providing fair trade coffee for purchase to parishioners once a month, and we also use fair trade coffee at the events here. And this is one of the ways that you can put the principles of your faith in action by making choices in your daily life and choices in your daily routine. So it's as easy as picking up your coffee at church. And this is an opportunity to mention a couple of other things that happen regularly throughout the year as well. Quarterly, so once every few months, we prepare and serve the evening meal at the Holly Street Emergency Shelter. That's part of the Lazarus House Network. And that takes about a team of about 4 people, and you go at 4:30. It's always a Wednesday. We're always the 5th Wednesday. Once a quarter, a 5th Wednesday comes up. And you go to the shelter with your team of people from St. Robert's, and they usually have the menu set, and they tell you what it is that you're going to prepare, and then we serve the meal cafeteria style to about 30 people who live in the shelter there. This is an opportunity that you can do with your family as well. They will take young children. You can bring young children with you. You can bring teens with you. It's whatever you feel comfortable with as a family. And one of the other ongoing opportunities throughout the year is twice a year, once in the fall, once in the spring. We always have a Habitat work day. So this is a full work day. Generally we've been working on sites in Lawrence, sometimes in Methuen, but we work with Merrimack Valley Habitat for Humanity. These are mostly adult work days. Sometimes we've been able to implement a teen work day. And even on the adult work days, we can generally take 1 or 2 teens 16 years of age or older. And that's just working within the rules for the state of Massachusetts and who can be on the work site. And one other way to get involved with the Habitat Service Days is if you don't feel comfortable working on site, we also often prepare the lunches for the people who are going to work on site. And this is kind of a nice idea. Habitat asks that if you prepare lunch for your team, that you prepare lunch for the whole team that's working. So even if St. Robert's sends 10 people or less, we'll end up preparing the meal for up to 30 people. So that's a nice way. That's something that you can do as a family. You can prepare the meals ahead of time, you can prepare lunches ahead of time, and then you just drop them off at church for the people who'll be working the next day. So you've heard about a lot of opportunities that we've talked about, things that you can do during the course of the year and things you can do inside the parish. Now here I am outside the parish. It's a really lovely day. And in front of the St. Vincent de Paul bins where you can donate clothing and shoes. So this is just another opportunity to think about what happens to the things that you consume. So when you're done with something and it's still usable to someone else, there are lots of people who may be looking for exactly the thing you don't need. So this is just one way here on site. You can come and drop things off at St. Vincent de Paul. We've also put together a list of things that you can find in the outreach section of the parish website that's sort of broken down by different types of items for local charities and what they take. So it's a good opportunity when you do your spring cleaning or your fall cleaning, or if you find you're tripping over things in your garage that you just don't need, think about someone else in the community who may very well need those items and take the opportunity to pass them along.